YouTube apologies. No one likes YouTube apologies. And the reason why is because they come off as inauthentic sometimes. Actually, most times. And it almost sounds like they're written by a ghostwriter. And that ghostwriter is a politician. No, but we're talking about apologies today because unfortunately for Asmongold, he chose to apologize. And the reason why is because just recently, a couple days ago, he got canceled. And as a matter of fact, it was so bad that in fact, he got banned for 14 days. And trust me when I tell you, these aren't exactly statements that you want to write down on a greetings card and hand it off to a person. You're not gonna have a good time. That's like trying to play bloody knuckles with Broly. It's not gonna work out for you. But nonetheless, he did it, and of course, it didn't go well for him. So I want to go ahead and discuss the apology, and I also want to go ahead and discuss what he stated. And of course, I want to go ahead and check out a couple of statements or back and forth that he had with Hassan, because I thought they were pretty interesting as well. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at those clips. So let's go ahead and get started.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways. It is that simple. No, I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Those are some pretty strong words from Asmongold. You know, words that really pack a punch. A punch that even Mike Tyson would envy. Imagine, I have a pretty strong punch. Nah, imagine. No, but it is pretty intense, man. I mean, it even went viral on Twitter. 36 million views on Twitter. And of course, this ended up catching a ton of attention, including that of Hassan, where Asmon thought it was a good idea to go on the Hassan stream and have a back and forth with, you know, Hassan about the whole topic about Sharia law. Unfortunately, though, I ended up disagreeing a little more with Hassan only because he kept going off topic and talking about Palestine instead of actually talking about Sharia law. So I feel like it wasn't really as progressive as I wanted it to be, but I mean, of course, this is like between them, you know. But nonetheless, he was doubling down on his idea when he was debating Hassan, and you can even check this out for yourself.
How can you be in support of a culture that tells people that they can't be who they want to be? Like, I mean, really, I mean, if I was advocating for what the laws were there, I would get banned for hate speech. Basically, the reason why I don't like what they do is because it's based off of a religious theocracy. And so you can look at other religious theocracies in other countries that aren't being bombed, and the one commonality that they have is that they all suppress people's identity and they express their freedom of expression. And I think that any culture and any type of government that is derivative of a religion is fundamentally inferior. I think this is true with any book. It's true with Judaism. It's true with Christianity. It's true with Islam. It's true with Hinduism. I think it's true with anything. And I find it to be very problematic that we're using these books as a guideline for like how to make laws when these books actively encourage killing people for different types of identities.
Yes, to a major extent, I actually agree with Asmongold, except with the whole inferior situation. I don't agree with that word, okay? But I do agree to a major extent because I think that, you know, when it comes to Sharia law, I think that that particular culture does suppress a ton of identity and personalities, which I think that, you know, when it comes to innovation and creation, I think it's majorly suppressed because of that reason, because it's so restrictive. But it is a very conservative area where they come from, because it's not just Palestine, it's other areas as well, like Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, all of these other places that practice Sharia law. So I do agree with Asmongold there, you know, to that extent. But I think that the way he mentioned it, or the way he said it at the very beginning, the clip that I showed you, that's not the way you say it, and that's obviously what got him canceled, you know. But Asmongold is known for saying stuff without sugarcoating it, you know. But this is one thing that I always tell people, that people like it when you don't sugarcoat things, but to me, I really don't like that whole idea of sugarcoating something, because I don't think that there's such thing as sugarcoating. I think that, you know, there's an effective way of communicating your thoughts that doesn't require you to sugarcoat it. It's just sitting down and actually thinking about what you're going to say and how to say it at the most effective, in the most effective sense possible. Which now brings us to the video where he's apologizing. Now, a lot of people are asking the question, you know, why are you apologizing if you still believe this? I mean, you explained it on Hassan or in an earlier stream or whatever, but it's you still believe it. So what are you apologizing for? You know, but to me, I understand why he's apologizing. When I was watching that video, it made a lot more sense to me. I'm like, yeah, you know, when it comes to how he speaks about certain ideas, you know, he kind of gets carried away. Like, for instance, you know, that's one example with Sharia law, you know, calling that whole culture inferior. I don't think he should have used that word at all, you know. And it's not the only time that he's done this. He's done this other times as well. Like, for instance, there was a video that CNBC came out with where they're talking about how men are dropping out of the workforce, and he kind of gives his thoughts at the end of the video.
It shouldn't be America's invisible problem. And the more that we talk about it, the more that we pay attention to it, the closer we get to turning this around.
I'm going to be honest. This is going to be very, very toxic masculinity. I think that we indulge people's mental health too much. I think that we listen to how people feel too much. Suck it the fuck up and deal with it. Be a fucking man. Stop being a bitch.
Yeah, it's opinions like this where a lot of men's right activists, they like to fight against, because there's always people out there talking about, well, you got to man up. Be a man. Stop being a bitch. So it's opinions like this that spread around that are particularly dangerous. And this is one of the reasons why he wanted to apologize in the video, because he talks about how he hurt a lot of people inadvertently, and this is one of those ways that he could potentially hurt people, you know, because when you spread these ideas around, a lot of the people who want to help out men, they get discouraged, or people don't want to support these issues because, well, they've heard rhetoric like this and they think that men are lazy. Because in that particular video, well, actually, I'm going to get into it in another video, but in that particular video, there's a guy who's talking about how we're lazy, and that's completely untrue. That's not the case at all. If you take a look at the chart, I mean, 90% of the men are working, you know? So for him to have that opinion, the guy in the CNBC video, and then pass that on to Asmongold, he's just a guy who's just casually watching, you know? But I don't blame him as much as I blame the guy who actually does his research into this issue, you know? But nonetheless, that's a whole nother topic. What I'm trying to say, though, is that he wants to apologize because he knows that opinions like this, they could potentially hurt groups of people. And listen, if you watch Asmongold and you're all like, no, he didn't do anything wrong. Look, I urge you, man, and I highly encourage you guys to take a step back, man. I understand that there's a parasocial relationship there and you've known him, but you have to take a step back, and every now and then you have to criticize your content creator. I usually say this in every video, and I'm gonna say this in this video, okay? Watch your content creators responsibly, man. Remember, think of him as like a friend, all right? Would you let your friend, I mean, this is like not similar in any sense, but think about it, man. Would you let your friend jump off a cliff if he saw all his other friends jump off a cliff? No, man. You'll pull him aside and be like, listen, bro, this isn't a cartoon where if you jump, you'll splat on the floor, but then you'll be able to get up with like birds around your head, like, or stars around your head, you know? Like, it doesn't work like that, man. Like, you know, in this case, it's a lot more complex, obviously, but you know, if you don't understand the situation, it's best just to take a step back. Or if you have time to do research into the topic, do some research. And he even asked for you guys to hold him accountable. So, or us, because I watch Asmongold too. But he asked us to hold him accountable. Let's hold him accountable, because if we hold him accountable, he won't make mistakes like this, and he won't get banned off of Twitter or Twitch. You know, you're not doing him any favors if you're just going to be like, if you're going to try to fend off everybody, or any criticism, constructive criticism for that matter. If you try to fend it off and be like, you can't talk about Asmongold like that, or else you're going to have to get through me. Like, bro, you know what, man? Twitch is going to get through you, not even through you, but over you. And you're just going to like watch it go over you, you know, and you're going to be like, wow, that he jumps pretty high. Yeah, Twitch has power like that, you know? So Twitch can potentially ban your favorite content creator. That's the last thing you want. Hold them accountable, man. And I'm not doing this to fucking just hate Asmongold. That's not what I do, because I watch Asmongold. You know, I respect Asmongold a lot. He's very truthful with himself, you know, and I really respect that. So I just wanted to just go ahead and put that out there, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know Asmongold that just want to just hate on him. Don't do that, man. Asmongold, he's human. We're all human. We all make mistakes like that. You know, I know one day I'm probably going to make a mistake like that, because I'm going to be streaming, you know, and I know I'm going to make a mistake like that. And I hope that nobody holds me like to a really high standard where I just can't like learn from it, you know. instead I get completely banned and just shunned away from society. You know, like I mean, that's a little extreme, but still, like, you know, I wouldn't want people just pointing their finger at me and saying like, you are a terrible person, you're absolutely racist, when that's not the case. You know, Asmongold, we know that he's not racist, you know, so he messed up. You know, let's learn from this and let's just move on. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. That's pretty much all I have for you guys, and yeah, hopefully you guys learned something today.